Welcome to an all-new episode of Much Ado About Nothing, the show where me and Joel take our love for everything across the world and force you guys to listen to it. I am joined with me, as always, my co-host Joel. What's going on, Joel?
What's going on, Juwaan?
Pretty excited to talk some everything, really. I want to start off with Knicks. They're about to play the Utah Jazz. Sorry, let me silence that. All right, they're about to play the Utah Jazz. As I heard, Joel, I saw it actually on Twitter like maybe 3-4 minutes ago, but obviously Quentin Grimes will not be playing tonight due to injury.
Sore knee or something.
Right. And you know what's funny, Joel? I wholeheartedly, and obviously I have nothing to base this off of, but I wholeheartedly believe he is not injured. This is a way to sit him to see where Cam Reddish works, to see what you need to do by Thursday. Because to me, the only reason why I think that is you have to do something either with him or for him. And apparently the rumor going around right now is Tibbs was not sold on getting Cam Reddish. So I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us thought any differently. I think all of us thought when they got him for what they got him for, and then he wasn't playing, it was very obvious there was some kind of disconnect there. Because it's very hard to believe Tibbs would go out of his way to trade for a guy he has no intention on playing. So that made no sense. And what Tibbs was getting away with for a little while was Cam Reddish came here injured. But that was literally, it felt like for like a day or two. And then it was like, well, he's back. So where am I playing, coach? And he's like, fuck, I thought you'd be gone longer. But hopefully it means he gets in the rotation. But I want to start off with that Lakers game, Joel. That Lakers game to me was the biggest combination of a coach and a player fuck up I've ever seen in my life. First of all, if you're Kemba Walker on a fast break, one-on-one, you pass it backwards.
Yeah, I don't know why you just go up with
it. like here's the funny thing, Joel. If his fear was, damn, Russell Westbrook might block it, you had 3-on-1. The likelihood is RJ would have got it and put it back up. Right. So like, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. And then what I didn't understand was how, if you're Tibbs, when RJ hit the shot to tie the game and it went to overtime, the very first play you drew up in that small brief timeout should have been for RJ to touch the ball first. They inbound. Yes, Jules gets it, and him and Fournier are doing back and forth, and then they pass it to RJ, who just throws it up. Design plays. RJ's hot. He's hot. Drop some plays for him, man. How did you feel coming out of that Lakers game that you obviously know we won? We obviously won that game. For some strange reason, the Knicks were trying their hardest to find ways to lose it.
Yeah, like missing 10 free throws. Like, how hard is it to make a free throw? They make it seem like it's impossible. Like, it's not hard. Like,
I think what upsets me about them missing free throws is, Joel, I watched Julius Randle hit a 3 from far as fuck, but couldn't make a free throw. So I'm looking at it and I'm just like, is it just that we're not trying? Like, I don't understand. Is
they're not practicing? Yeah, like, that's the question. Like, what the fuck? I don't get it.
I swear I don't get it, Joel. And the crazy thing is, like I said, we played a fundamentally sound game, a game that you look at and you go, damn, man, this is one of those games that gets it going. It shows that the Lakers are a fucking hot mess and we have the ability to go on a run.
Yeah,
and no,
just couldn't keep the lead.
No,
I mean, last time we played the Lakers, the same thing happened, except we actually won the game.
Right.
We blew the lead. Like, we had a big lead the first half again, and they came back, took the lead, but we ended up winning that game. But LeBron was healthy this game, so that didn't help. But it was just a pain in the ass. I turned the game off, and I found out we were in overtime by the phone. I was like, oh shit!
I love Joel for that. Yeah. I watched. See, okay, so what I did was, because I didn't want to turn it off, right? Obviously, it's Saturday night. I didn't go anywhere, so I'm like, there's nothing else on, so I kept it on. what I did was I was playing my Switch and just keeping an eye on it, right? One of those like, oh my God, I'm gonna be so sick. I can't wait to just destroy them when me and Joel pod. And then when RJ hit that shot, I'm like, okay, fuck, shit. All right. Attention's here, right? Like, all right, you got me. And then you get to overtime and it's just like Fournier, that inbound pass. No, I'm sorry, the save. What the fuck? Even if you thought it was out on us, that's just not a save you do.
No.
You just let it go. Just let it go. Just stupid fucking mistakes after mistakes. And look, I've been very critical of Julius Randle. I don't give a fuck about who he was yelling at on the sideline. I don't give a fuck about that shit. That's just Julius Randle. You know what I'm saying? It's like watching DeMarcus Cousins when he was younger. That's just who he is. He's a very angry person at times. But no, this was a game we should have won. And like you said, missed free throws, aggressiveness, the fact that Tibbs kept putting in Kemba Walker way longer than he should have. Alec Burks way longer than he should have. And not putting Mitchell Robinson in.
Yeah, he kept Mitch out for way too long. And I'm like, don't get me wrong. There was a lot of moments in that game where AD like overpowered him.
Yes.
It's like, this is not good. I'm like, you can't do that. You can't let him punk you like that. You gotta stand up for yourself. That's what it felt like. He was like a little brother type, little brother in the whole game.
Yep.
I'm like, you can't do that. I know you're friends and shit, but you can't let him push you around like that.
Hell no. But yeah, I mean, when he had him out, I'm looking at it, Joel, and I'm like, I swear to God, Tibbs is looking at AD and not realizing we don't have any other size besides Mitchell Robinson to go up against Anthony Davis. So I'm like, why is he not in here? Yeah, I'm like, why is he not in here?
Well, Noel was on the floor for what? I'm like, I understand. He wasn't doing anything.
Literally nothing. AD was scoring at will, just like he was with Mitch. Only difference was Mitch at least can rebound better than Noel. So I'm like, I don't understand, man.
I would have tired in the game sooner. Or for most of the game, if that was the case. If we're gonna play like that.
It was just very frustrating to look at. But again, this game, Joel, didn't tell me and you anything we didn't know. Me and you think very highly of RJ. We think RJ is bubbling to a level to where if the Knicks could get more consistent, we could look at RJ the way we look at John Morant. I do wholeheartedly believe that. I do not see a drastic difference in the play of both. Now, John Morant is a bit more consistent, 100%. But and you can speak to this because you keep an eye on the Grizzlies, so you can speak to this. But I think a lot of John Morant's greatness right now is the fact that his whole team is playing fucking phenomenally right now. Right?
Yeah. He has a lot of help.
That's what I'm saying. Desmond Bane, Justin, like they're really, really, really good. And they're consistent. And they
still got Dylan Brooks out. Dylan Brooks is good too.
Right. So, and we don't even know, we haven't heard anything, but that team could be a team that's in the market for somebody to really put themselves over. Whether it's a big man or whatever. But I look at RJ and I'm like, if you look at that draft over again, I think a lot of people might push for the Pelicans and maybe make a different decision. But I'm like, I don't see John Morant right now is head over heels better than RJ at all. I don't see it. I think I'm biased, but I honestly don't see it. I don't see how he's way better than RJ Barrett. I think he's playing really good right now, and his team success is what's garnishing him a lot of shine right now. But if RJ was playing like he is now last year, RJ would have been the all-star. We'd be talking about RJ the way that we are John Morant. So I don't think he's head over heels better. I look at him and I'm like, okay, all right, RJ just got some more work to do, man. The team has to get better. But all right, so let's get into speculation talk here, Joel. I want to know straight up, is the Julius Randle experiment done for you? Like, if someone offers something good, did that Lakers game make you go, no, that's a piece we should keep? Or if the price is right, he's got to go?
I don't think it's an experiment anymore. I think it pretty much is what it is. Um, I think it's. I don't think there's a time period for it, but I do believe like for the right price, he could be moved. No doubt. I don't think I don't think he's a future piece anymore. But you can't go by the Laker game. That was a good game. Like,
No,
well,
no,
actually,
that's what
the
I'm
last
saying.
couple of games have been good. Like last 5 games, he's been playing well.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. So like, do we look at those and we go, well, shit, that's a piece of this puzzle, or are we kind of just like, no, that's smokescreen.
I mean,
That's smokescreen at this point.
no, I don't care unless he goes back to playing like All Star Julius again. Which the only thing he's missing right now is his J is broken. The fact that he found it during the LA game, I'm like, good. Like some of it, like 50% of that was good going in. Happy, but it's not. He's not shooting nowhere near as good as he was last year, and that's really the biggest part of the game that he's missing. And that definitely fucks with his head, obviously, when he can't make his shots, and we need less of him running point. It's just period. Like I don't mind him doing it once in a while, especially on a fast break. But like he can't be running. They know exactly what he's gonna do. Like it's an easy turnover almost.
Wait, okay, hold on, because I almost called you, even though I know you hate it. I almost called you when I saw this play in the Lakers game. Julius was running up court, right? Julius ran into a double team and was trying to throw it. And Anthony Davis was just like, oh, thank you. Like, where are you going? Like, RJ was wide open in the corner. He was wide open, Julius's whole time running into the fucking double team, right? So I'm like, he waited to throw it, so he was trapped. And then he's in the air trying to get rid of it. Anthony Davis was just like, well, thank you very much. And I'm just like, I don't understand how, like at least when I would watch Melo, I would know the man has no passing ability in his fucking bone. Like, it's shoot or rebound. So, but when I look at Jules, I'm like, you are a good passer. But why is it your court vision is just so distorted? Why is it that you wait for the double team and then pass it? You know the double team's coming. You're the team's best player. Well, I think that's to be argued now. But, you know, they view it as the team's best, as, you know, our team's
getting paid like he's the best player. That's
there you're getting money like you're the best player. So I'm like, why do you always just not understand what a double team is? So yeah, so that I was ready to call you like, bro, did you see this? Like, can we pack his bag now? You know what I'm saying? But one of the names we're hearing the Knicks being interested in big time is CJ McCollum. But I don't know what to put stock in because I'm also hearing it's very possible Knicks could do nothing. And I'm like, if you do nothing and you don't make the playoffs, not the play-in, the playoffs, that sounds very fire. that sounds very fire. You're telling me CJ McCollum was available, especially if no one else trades for him. You got to go after that guy. You just have to, now, albeit I don't think CJ McCollum makes us head over heels better than what we are now. Because I'm like, I don't know what you give up for that. Because
keep talking, I'll be right back.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what you give up for that. I have no idea what a CJ McCollum, RJ, and Randall would even look like. So I'm like, to make that trade, I don't know what it looks like enough to get excited for it. But as Joel was telling me, CJ McCollum, that's a baller. If you can go get him, you go get him.
Oh yeah.
And that's not wrong at all. That's not wrong at all. But I find it hard to believe that the Trailblazers would want Randall.
No, I don't think you give up Randall.
Right. So if you don't, what does CJ, RJ, and Randall look like? I stress enough feeling as though RJ doesn't get enough touches that he should. Now you're bringing in CJ. Obviously, that means we would have to get rid of Kimba, Fournier, probably Burks.
We probably got to go Fournier. Probably Fournier and Burks.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
To make the money work.
Right. And then obviously Kimba would go somewhere. So yeah, I'm very interested in what that would look like. Like, obviously anything can work in the NBA. Well, outside of Russell Westbrook and LeBron, but mostly anything can work in the NBA. But that I don't know. So I mean, look, say it again.
Say he's a baller. Hopefully, I'll make it work.
For sure. But he's also somebody, as you see when he plays with Dame, he needs his touches.
I think he should play point. Honestly, he should play point. He'll get his touches.
Oh shit! Well, if he plays point, then sure. If he plays point, then that should limit how much Julius touches it, and I'm fine with that. So there'd be no complaints there. Yeah, I don't know. I got to see him. Would you say?
So did they just miss a free throw?
Yes, they did. Yes. I think I'm gonna YouTube Joel because I want to see it more because I don't watch Trailblazers games all that much. I want to see his games where he's played at point guard and see how he's looked as a playmaker. Because that's what we said we wanted RJ to be, but it's really hard for RJ to do that when Julius is there. Oh my God, Alec Burks at the point guard. Oh God, that's gotta die.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Like that's gotta die. That just has to stop. Rose, please come back. Yeah. Please, I beg you. Goodness gracious, who knew we'd be at a point this year where we're like, Rose, please save us. And Rose is like, I saved y'all last year. I can't keep doing this shit. Like,
who do you think I am?
like come on, man. I'm not 22. I can't keep doing this for you. And it's like, I know, but I don't have anyone else. Like, there's no one else that wants to do this.
I'm like, play the kid.
My brother was saying that. My brother was texting me that earlier. He was just like, why won't they play the kid? And I'm like, Tibbs doesn't play kids. That's the only explanation I can give you.
He played him for a game and a half and never saw him again.
Never saw him again. And he's like, well, I don't get it. He plays Grimes. I'm like, well, Grimes is baby Klay Thompson. So that's why he plays Grimes. That kid's fucking automatic. So I get that, but I don't know. I guess it's just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand why you gave him such a short leash. Or at least start quickly. You got to move quicker, you know?
But the problem with giving rookies a short leash is they're rookies. So it's like, if you give them a short leash and they struggle, they're rookies. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to work themselves out of it.
Right.
So I'm like, not playing them is a mistake. And shout out to Mitchell Robinson. He's taking out all that Anthony Davis aggression.
I love it. Yeah.
He's just like, fuck you, Anthony Davis. It's like, no. It's like wrong night, Mitch. You should have did it Saturday.
Yeah.
No, but this is a game, Joel, that I could see Mitchell Robinson going for 15 points with no Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
For sure, there should be a 15. 15 and 18. That I expect nothing less from Mitchell Robinson. Oh my God. We said this so many times, Jules, if your jumper is off, everyone knows you go to the rack. You just go to the rack. You get the easiest points.
That went in and out though. You know? I said that went in and out. That was like, almost. It's so frustrating with him because it's like his shot is off, but it's not like completely off. It just won't go in.
Right. No, I mean, and look, is two people who have seen J.R. Smith in the Knicks uniform. We understand a broken jumper.
He's a good shooter though. J.R. Smith was always a good shooter. Was he get hot and cold? Yes, but
no. But I'm saying we've at least seen very cold J.R. So we've seen someone who can make shots and they just won't go in.
Very cold John Starks. I've seen it.
Joe's like, I've seen all this shit, man. Relax. I've seen it. Sorry. So last Knicks question I want to ask you is, with all the names that have been linked to the Knicks, what is the one player you want the Knicks to go after?
The one player I want to go after?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the one guy I want to go after is we're playing him right now. I want
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, but, I'll wait because I'll wait. I'll wait till the summer and see how it goes. I don't know if he wants to stay there long term. So
look. I look at it like this, man. My prayer is not only that the Jazz don't make the playoffs.
They gotta make the playoffs.
Is that they miserably don't make the playoffs? Because that's really the only thing. Because if you're Donovan Mitchell, you kind of have to look at it like this, to where if they can get far enough, right? You could at least go, all right, well, we just need to reshuffle the deck a little bit, get the right piece, and then boom, right? But if they can get knocked out super early, that is ideal. Super early enough to where we can go, hey.
The first round. If they get knocked out in the first round, it's like, okay.
Yeah, you get knocked out in the first round, it's going to be like, hey, isn't it much easier to go to Met games if you're in New York, Donovan Mitchell? Like, come on. 100%. Come on. It's the easiest thing. You're right here. I'm picturing it now, him throwing the first pitch, everything. God damn you, Joel. Now I got Donovan Mitchell in my head. I specifically talked myself out of believing in Donovan Mitchell coming here.
That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen.
Damn. So then let me answer this. So if that's a real possibility, does getting CJ McCollum make that harder?
Could always use CJ McCollum.
I mean, because I look at it like this. I get you. You're saying everyone's a Swiss Army knife. I get you. But there's no fucking way, Joel. You can make CJ, Donovan, RJ, and Randall work. There's just no way.
No. That's too many. That's too much money. You have to. Julius will be gone at some point during that. No, you can't make that all work. But you can use CJ McCollum as a piece if you really wanted to.
Like a tradable piece? I'm trying to think who would be out there.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell. What I'm saying, you could trade CJ for Donovan.
Trade CJ for Donovan Mitchell. Oh, okay. I get you. Okay, I get you.
That's what I'm saying. If you wanted to. I mean, if like this push came to shove, at least now you have a good piece. Money matches. You're like, okay, now it's even better, and you have to give up less. You know what I mean?
Right. And then at that point, Joel, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I know so many people tell me I'm stupid to even think this. If we at that point got Donovan Mitchell, I'm 1,000% signing Mitchell Robinson to a max deal and trading that motherfucker to Minnesota, and I'm bringing in Karl Anthony Towns to pair with Donovan Mitchell. 100%. I'm not even thinking twice about that shit.
I don't think you get Mitchell max, but yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying. I would lock him up long term because, in the NBA, that's the most attractive contracts for young players is that they're locked up, so you just don't have to worry about that. NBA is hilarious. The NBA is like, all right, you're old. I'll only do a 1 or 2 year deal, and I'll trade for him. If you're young, max that motherfucker. So it's money we don't have to worry about because he's already locked up. But yeah, so if we are in play for Donovan Mitchell this summer, I want Knicks to think real fucking hard. See what getting DeJounte Murray looks like, Donovan Mitchell and Karl Anthony Towns. And the Knicks, if the Knicks can't win with those,
that's a lot.
If the Knicks can't win with those three, I don't know what to say about this organization, Joe.
I have to talk about overextending. Yeah, that's a lot to to try to go get all at once.
I mean, DeJounte Murray's not making nowhere near max money.
Yeah, but you think they're gonna try to rape us with what they're gonna ask?
That's very true, and I'll tell you what.
Good. He ain't no scrub.
No. I'm saying you are 100% correct. But if that means I can get DeJounte Murray, Donovan Mitchell, RJ, Obi Toppin, and
that's the thing. You're gonna get if you're gonna go after all three of them, you're losing RJ.
Oh, fuck no. Then I don't want that. Then I don't need DeJounte Murray. Ain't no way in hell I want to lose RJ. That shit'll come bite us in the ass like crazy. You know what Popovich will do with RJ Barrett? He'll be a way better Manu Ginobili. No way in hell I want that. God, I can see that now. He'll come into the Garden dropping 50 every time. Yeah, no, I don't want that. That's my worst nightmare, actually, Joe. So I'm fine with just RJ, Donovan, Obi, and Karl Anthony Towns. I'm good with that.
If you're gonna do something like that, you gotta wait till one of them's a free agent and like try to swindle,
That's almost impossible for us because Cat's locked up and so is Donovan.
Yeah.
At that point, me and you would just be like, you know what? Fuck basketball. Like, if we had to wait that long.
You gotta at least start with one. And if you got RJ and Donovan, to me, that's not bad.
No, not bad.
Then you just gotta, hopefully, Obi and the rest can be enough. If not, then you gotta go out and look for a better complementary pieces. Right. Shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, look, we could go smaller. Miles Turner won't bend us over a barrel. to get him instead of Karl Anthony Towns.
Oh, yeah, not that bad.
No, not at all. And look, I'd leverage draft capital for those kind of players. Those kind of players, I would leverage draft cap. Obviously, not long-standing draft capital, but
Yeah, it really depends on what. Yeah.
right, yeah. But if you told me I'm losing the next 3 years of my first-round picks, I don't give a fuck. If I can get Donovan and Miles Turner, I don't care.
I don't know. That's a lot for
Donovan Mitchell, who's only 25, I would 100% do that. I do that in a heartbeat. Trying to see here. Yeah, for Donovan Mitchell, 25 years old, I'd leverage three first rounds for sure. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah. Because look at our success in getting into the lottery, like top 3. Outside of RJ, that shit for us is almost impossible.
No, but I like the guys that we got now. They drafted pretty well.
Right. But wait, wasn't Deuce in what's his name, second rounds? Second and third? Yeah. So I don't want to leverage all of our seconds, but our first, I'd leverage that shit. In my mind, I'm hoping with Donovan Mitchell, I'm winning games, so that doesn't really matter.
Well, that's the plan, right?
Right. Right. So I don't miss.
Foul.
That's what I'm saying. I don't mind that. My problem was when the Knicks did it for Melo, you got rid of all your really good pieces. And at that point, you were depending on just Melo and Amari to win you 30 to 40 games. And that shit wasn't realistic at all. So that's why I was like, damn, giving up that draft capital?
Yeah, they gave up a lot of young guys and it was crazy.
Yeah, that was just like, well, you don't do both.
Yeah, everything.
That's like giving a kid money to go to the grocery store to pick up some stuff. They come home with no money and no groceries. Like, wait, hold on. You did both? You can't do both. You got to come back with one of the two. So, yeah, Knicks got older in that trade somehow. It was just like, what the fuck is happening?
That was really the problem. They had no bench. And the kids was like second rounders. Like,
right.
Fields and them.
But if we're being honest, Joel, the only thing, and I was telling my dad this before, the only reason I regret, or somewhat regret, not fully, but somewhat regret that Melo trade was Amari never lived up to his part of the deal. If Amari was like that year they traded for Melo and was healthy the entire run, I think we obviously look drastically different, especially that Pacers series. We look drastically different. So that's my only regret, that Amari wasn't able to, obviously because of health, wasn't able to hold up his end. But no. Do I regret getting Melo? I'll never regret that shit. Are you serious? Some of my fondest fucking Knicks memories. Are you serious? 62 in the Garden, getting us to the second round. Fucking love that. But all right.
It's upsetting that it was only 3 years of success, you know.
That was it. And then it was just like, wait, we suck again? How?
Well, that's the thing. We had one bad season, and then they're like, oh, we have to start all over. I'm like, what are you doing? You have to do like relax.
That's not what you do. That's so weird. You just had Melo at an MVP level. You just make smarter decisions, you know, like not trying to get Andre Bargnani. That'd be
I mean, that was I'm not even gonna think about that. I'll be right back. Give me one second.
Yeah, go ahead. That was definitely frustrating. Like, wait, you don't do Andre Bargnani. That's the worst decision to make. Goodness gracious, Nerlens Noel cannot fucking, oh my God, he cannot rebound. No Rudy Gobert in this Utah game, and fucking Nerlens Noel still finds a way to shit the bed. Goodness gracious. Oh, this is so fucking hard to watch. Damn, Donovan Mitchell looks good. How can we make this trade happen? Come on, Utah. Get desperate. Get so desperate. Take that Donovan Mitchell trade in a fucking heartbeat. But yeah, so all right. So I wanted to ask you about this before we move out of basketball. Did you want to talk the All-Star game at all? Like the selections? Was there any selections that stood out to you?
Well, we could talk about it. I got it here.
I hate Nerlens Noel. While you look that up, I wanted to bring this up because as soon as the trade happened, me and you were both not excited for the team, but excited for the player. I immediately went and played as the Cavs with Karis LeVert.
Jesus.
Holy shit. If they had Sexton healthy, I'm telling you right now, I put on everything, Joe. I picked him as my dark horse. They're just too fucking athletic. Way too athletic. They should not be this athletic. And then a guy who could potentially go for 20 a game and Karis LeVert 15 to 20 a game. Holy shit, man. That team is so much fucking fun to play with. Damn, I was so happy when I heard that trade happen because I'm like, finally, man. I expected the Pacers to be so much better. How they got a better head coach and got worse, I'll never understand that. I'll never understand how you get Rick Carlisle and you get worse. But you got it pulled up.
All right. Does you want to start with the starters?
Yeah, let's start with the starters.
All right. I do have an issue with that, but I'll tell you in a moment. On the West side, you have Steph Curry and Ja Morant starting backcourt of the West. In the front court, you're gonna have for the West Andrew Wiggins. I never thought I'd see. LeBron James, of course, and then of course the Joker, Nikola Jokic, are the starters for the West. Then you have the starters for the East, which are Trae Young. He was the other in Trae Young, DeMar DeRozan, who they had as a guard, who has not played guard all year. Actually, I don't think he's played guard since he's been in Toronto, but whatever.
I don't think so either. Because you know for a fact, Popovich didn't have that motherfucker playing guard.
No, he did not. And they don't have him playing the same position. He's not playing guard. He's playing a small forward, yeah, at best. So, yeah, not a guard. But whatever, he was on the guard list, and so he was selected as a guard. Kevin Durant, and of course, Giannis.
Did you hear the news about Kevin Durant?
Yeah, it's the Kumpo. I mean, Kevin Durant is injured, so he will not be playing. He was replaced with LaMelo Ball, but he will be replaced in the starting lineup with Jason Tatum.
Yes.
Well, I did not announce yet, but I'll get to it. Oh, anyway, the reserves. The reserves for the East. On the East side, let's do the West. I'm sorry, I started with the West. Donovan Mitchell has made the All-Star team. Chris Paul. How old is Chris Paul? Fucking 40. Devin Booker. Luka Doncic. DeJounte Murray is in as a replacement. Draymond Green has made it, but he was also injured, and DeJounte Murray actually replaced Draymond Green.
Good. He was saying he would he hoped he did when he was on Inside the NBA. Mm-hmm. He was saying he thought the kid made it, and when he didn't, he was like, "Well, he has a chance to, because I'm not fucking playing."
Yeah, right. So he announced that he was not coming. He's not going to play the All-Star game during the day he got announced, which is funny. And then like the big men in the West, you have Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert also making it into the All-Star game as the bigs, even though I believe that should be a separate category altogether. But, I'm never going to win that fight.
No, unfortunately, no.
Considering that's 3 centers I just mentioned. 3 of them.
Cam Reddish is in the game. Look at that.
Yeah, baby.
I will say, before you go into what bothered you, I swear Rudy Gobert being in the All-Star game is starting to become like Rudy Gobert being in Defensive Player of the Year game. Where it's kind of just like, well, yeah, sure. I guess he gets blocks and shit. Because like I swear I don't see what about his season is an all-star outside of the fact that for Joel, and I'm just joking, but for Joel, they're like, well, we have to have the big man in here, and there's not many, so him, yes, he's recognized.
There's 3 in the West.
right. So that's why I'm like, that's
big man
in there, right?
And I would consider Draymond a big man, honestly.
I'm with you.
And LeBron has been playing a lot of big man this year.
Yeah, because AD won't fucking stay healthy, so he's had to.
So give me that shit. Big men exist.
100%. We just both know it's an unwinnable war you're fighting, but I agree with you.
That's what it's stupid. It's beyond stupid. The idea that you can actually have 3 small forwards playing at the same time is stupid. Beyond stupid.
So which one of these all-star names bothered you?
I didn't finish doing the East All
Oh,
reserves.
shoot, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry is right. Not playing. On the East side, you have James Harden of the Brooklyn Nets, Fred VanVleet, good for him, Toronto Raptors, Zach LaVine, Chicago Bulls, Darius Garland, good for him, his first All-Star game, okay, Cleveland Cavaliers. Speaking about those, think about that. Garland was the pick right after RJ.
Yep.
RJ got screwed this year
100%. I look at
yeah.
Garland, but again, and Shaq said it shouldn't be this way, like it shouldn't be this way for MVP. But unfortunately, when you go to coaches now picking reserves, they do reward winning outside of
No.
individual.
I'm not saying that. I know RJ wasn't going to get in because of the fact that our record's not good, and
Right.
he just started playing really well.
Oh, fair, very fair, very fair, very fair.
But I say he got screwed because like these guys, like Darius Garland, was starting point guard, right? Balls in his hand all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You already saw him coming into his own last year. You know what I mean?
Right. Wait,
this
can I ask you something? Because you would know this. It confused me when I was playing as the Cavs. Is Garland and Sexton both technically two guards that just so happen to be able to play the point?
No, Garland's a point guard. Sexton's a point guard, but he's been playing off ball when he plays.
2K, when you Google him, they just consider him a full-on two guard. Like they don't even say point guard / shooting guard. They just call him just a shooting guard.
They play together as they're double point guard is what they are.
Okay. Because it confused the shit out of me when they're like, "Oh, he's a shooting guard." So I'm trying to shoot with Colin Sexton, and that motherfucker is not automatic.
No, Sexton's not like Garland could shoot. Sexton is not as good a shooter. No.
I learned that shit the hard way. I can see I was driving with Garland, somewhat successful.
Backwards.
And then I was shooting with Sexton, and I'm Sexton's like, I don't get why this doesn't work. And then when they show you their grades for 3 points and whatnot, I was like, oh shit, okay, I should have just looked at this first. But okay, because they were classifying him just as a shooting guard. Because I was trying to put him, I was having Sexton come off the bench as my point guard, and they're like, nah, he's a shooting guard. I'm like, wait, what? Okay.
Sexton's the starting point guard for the Cavaliers.
That's what was confusing me, because that's what I thought. But okay, so that's the East. It's so crazy. Like, James Harden is crazy great. The fact that they're playing horrible this year, but he's averaging 22. I think it was like 8 and 6 or something like that. It's fucking bananas. Like he can't be his real self, but he's still averaging 22 points per game. Insane. But okay, so that's all the East and all the West.
I didn't finish. That was just the guards.
Okay.
I said LaMelo is an injury replacement for KD. The reserve, the forwards, at least the front court, as they like to call them. You have Jason Tatum, Chris Middleton, Jimmy Butler, and of course the what's his name? What was it? I'm sorry, Jimmy Butler's the last one. They only really had one true big man in get voted in, which is Joel Embiid. Oh, no, Antetokounmpo's technically a big man. I'll say that. So there you go. Yeah.
He's 100% a big man. So then, what are your thoughts
on the All-Stars? I like them. Not bad at the. I mean, they earned it. Some other guys could have gotten in. You know, we squinted. Like I thought, like on the East side, Bam, I think could have had a chance of getting in. I think what's his name? On the center, Jared Allen, who's now linked up with his net partner, LeVert in Cleveland. I think he could have made an All-Star team. I think obviously Murray is in, LaMelo was in. I had them as possibilities, so they did get in. Good for them. Anthony Edwards had a chance, I think, for Minnesota.
Had a good chance, but unfortunately, the debate about who's the best player on that team is still arguably just a tad on the other side.
Sure. I'm just saying he had a chance. He had a good chance.
Well, he would have made it had not Anthony Wiggins made it. That would have been his spot. That would have been
Andrew fucking Wiggins. I'm still shocked.
If you're Jabari Parker, you got to be looking at him like, what the fuck? I never got to play with Steph and Clay and Draymond. It's like, it's true, Jabari, you didn't. That's why he's playing so great. He literally has to do very little on that team. It's actually a name you don't hear that often. You hear Poole's name more.
Yeah, Poole's good this year. Really
Hearing
good.
a lot about Poole this year. And again, I don't watch all Warrior games, so I could be sounding very ignorant. But every game of the Warriors that comes on TV that I watch, Poole is always who leaps out at me. Fuck, he just dropped 30 when Clay and Steph couldn't play the other day. Yeah. So I'm like, that's a name I've heard numerous times. So I'm like, that's who I would.
Poole has having a great year. Talking about most improved, I would definitely give it to Jordan Poole.
It's very few that you can give it to over Jordan Poole right now. The fact that he stepped up big time with no Clay, and then he's stepping up even bigger with Clay, lets you know how much improved this guy has become for sure. But you never told me who was the one that bothered you.
Oh no, I was just upset that they had DeMar as a guard when he was a forward.
That does bother you. No, that does bother you. I feel you. It is a little frustrating because it kind of feels like, well, if you gave him his proper position, someone else in the right position of shooting guard could have gotten
in, right? Because he would have started it probably would have been Levine and DeMar. It would have started, right? This would be fair. And then it probably would have been Levine, DeMar, KD, and Antetokounmpo. So who really would have got screwed was who would have got screwed? Damn.
From the starting lineup?
Yeah.
Who's the point guard?
Who's a small forward? KD. Oh no, yeah, someone would have got fucked. Oh yeah, it would have been one of DeMar DeRozan or Levine would have got screwed because KD and Antetokounmpo are just more popular.
Right, but where he wouldn't have got screwed is the fact that Durant can't play might have meant that they put that combination together of DeRozan and Levine.
Because yeah, I mean, yeah, but now they got Tatum in there.
Right, but I'm saying because they put DeMar at 2, it frees you to put Tatum in there. But if you put DeMar where he belonged, I think if you just push Tatum out, put DeMar there.
Yeah, you could have threw him right alongside. I mean, they still could have if they wanted to.
Right. I mean, me and you both believe there's no way in hell Tatum deserves to start over Levine. No. But I mean, I get it. It's politics, so whatever.
Who's coaching? East is Chicago. Is it Billy?
Chicago. Yeah.
Billy Donovan.
Mm-hmm.
Good for Billy.
I'm very proud of him because I know a lot of people shitted on him when he was in OKC.
There was a lot of shit talk between about Andrew Wiggins and Billy Donovan a couple years ago.
Yes, very much so. But if we're being completely honest, Joel, Andrew Wiggins didn't do all the greatest. He struggled. Because when you look back, you're kind of like, well, Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns should have at least made the Timberwolves slightly better than what they were. I'm not saying drastically, but just slightly. And they weren't. And that was a large part because Wiggins didn't hold up his end of the deal.
Right.
That was balling day in, day out. So, again, I don't think anyone ever deserves hate, but I could understand the criticism. But Donovan, he was coaching just Russ, essentially, with those OKC teams. Albeit, yes, Paul George was there, but he struggled off and on. Especially losing in the playoffs the way that they did. He super struggled.
Oh, yeah. But you see now, like, Russ is Russ.
And, Joel, if we look back at it now, it seems like Paul George was playing like someone who didn't want to be there. Because the first chance that motherfucker got to get out, he was like, oh, well, no, I saw what he was talking about.
Technically, it was a second chance, yes.
Right, second chance. But he 100% was like, oh, no, I see what
he did have a chance to leave and go to the Lakers, but he decided to stay in Oklahoma City.
Wait, was LeBron there at the time?
Yeah. That was the first year, I think, of the LeBron Laker tenure where they sucked.
Look, look, basketball gods work magic. Because could you have pictured LeBron, Paul George, and AD? Oh,
Yeah, no.
it's a sickening. It's Kyrie, Harden, and Durant.
Durant. Yeah. Luckily, the gods have worked in our favor because they seem like a malcontent trio that just can't stay healthy.
The guys are just like, all right, KD, you want your big three? Cool. But how about this? How about this? Just to be fair, Kyrie can't play home games. Like, wait, what? Yeah, can't play home games. Sorry. You can't have everything, Durant. So just expect him to be great in away games. Can't have him for home games. And on top of that, James Harden won't get in shape because he don't want to be there no more. So take that. If you're happy with that, then all right.
James really wants out. He just got there.
Right. I swear, when you look at James, you can't tell the difference. You're like, didn't they get him out of Houston? Wasn't he this fat in Houston? Like, what the are you still not happy?
James.
Which is funny because Steve Nash is like, oh, no, we're not going to trade James Harden. Somewhere James Harden is sitting there like, oh, really? I will fucking eat at this buffet right now. I will eat till my eyes bleed if you don't trade me out of here. But yeah, it does make me and Joel very happy to see how they've went from second place to ninth place in the East. That's very happy. Very happy.
Yeah, they've been talking about they've been no luck for that team, like in terms of health.
Yes.
But
they don't deserve it. Fuck
no. I agree 100%.
They deserve nothing. They don't deserve sympathy. They don't deserve concern.
You put that talent together like that, you demons.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why when I watch LeBron, I'm like, yeah, Russ. Yeah, make sure Lakers never win another championship. Do it, Russ. You deserve it.
Sabotage.
Yeah, you wanted to have everything, so there you go. You got everything, and it sucks. But all right, let's move on. We can go through this really quickly, Joel. Should they just get rid of the Pro Bowl altogether?
That's interesting. Should they get rid of the Pro Bowl altogether? Yeah, I don't watch it, so I wouldn't really miss it. I wouldn't care. I know a lot of people like getting selected to play, not that they actually like playing.
I think you should still have the status of you got selected. You just don't play. Like they just don't play the game, but you got selected.
It's like all NBA.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly. Because to me, when I was hearing Shannon Sharp break down why he thinks Julian Edelman isn't a Hall of Famer, and he's like, he's never been to a Pro Bowl. I'm like, whoa, hold on. We're putting stock in Pro Bowls? like I've seen a guy who was great for 1 year make a Pro Bowl. So you're telling me if Edelman had made one, this would be a conversation? That makes no sense to me. Now, if you're telling me all team or whatever the case, I get that. That holds more stock to me. But a Pro Bowl? I fucking saw Kyle Korver make an all-star game. Like, what are we talking about here? I feel like we're splitting hairs. So as someone who watched literally all of 15 seconds of the Pro Bowl, I think I watched when Mac Jones did that run where they blew the whistle and he started dancing in the end zone. I think that was the only thing I really paid attention to. That was it. But yeah, I personally just think, I mean, even Deion Sanders was saying like, God damn, I miss when it used to be competitive. But now it's just like, guys just want to have fun. So I'm like, instead of that, the NBA should just gift them a vacation to Vegas or Hawaii or whatever, and you just don't televise it. We don't need to see that shit. Oh my God, Cam Reddish is a god. I saw that and I was just like, oh my God. This is what we said, Joel, when they got him. Like, he can defend really well. And Tibbs was just like,
long 6'8", bro.
Like, he shows how easy it is. It's what made me and you frustrated about Kevin. Kevin, why can't you be good at defense? You're tall. Like, you just put hands up.
He was real tall. And I saw him this year compared to everybody else. I'm like, yo, he's really tall.
And couldn't play defense a fucking lick. I'll never understand that.
He was goofy as fuck. That's really what it was. His coordination was not there.
Because you look at him and you're like, Kevin, you're like, at least if his footwork was bad, I'd be like, okay, no problem. Just put your hands up. That's it. You're tall. Put your hands up.
That's what it was, though. I mean, it was really more his footwear, like the basics. He just wasn't.
Oh my God! Look at that. Give me them cookies. Give me them cookies. Give them to me, Jordan Clarkson. Give them to me. But yeah,
this is the kind of game that Reddish needs. You know what I mean? Like he needs to show.
I'm telling you right now.
Look, I need to be on the floor.
If he can lock up like that and give me 15 to 20 tonight, there's no way I ever want to see him just riding the bench ever again. Ever again. Ever. Goodness gracious. He could have at least done something on LeBron as opposed to what everybody else did on Saturday.
Right.
But all right, so we both agree, Joel. Get rid of the Pro Bowl. We don't give a shit
anymore. I wouldn't miss it if it was gone. Like honestly, I love All-Star games. You know that, but like,
right. But at least in the NBA, Joel, we've seen the last few years. Like they'll bullshit the first 2 or 3 quarters, and in that fourth quarter, they lock in against the finals.
Right.
So you love to see that. But look, I get it. In the NFL, it's way more physical, and the last thing you want is Mason Crosby putting a career-ending hit on Patrick Mahomes in a game where they're just having fun. But that's what takes the fun out of it. It's supposed to be just another football game. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't play week 6 like you do a Pro Bowl. Why the fuck do you think I want to watch you play a Pro Bowl like that? So that's the biggest problem. So that's something that will never be fixed because the players would rather not play it at all than to play harder. So just get rid of it.
Absolutely.
All right, so I want to get to this, Joel, because we talked about it before, man, but you know how passionate I am about it, and I want to talk more about it with you, man. And that's last week's episode of Book of Boba Fett. Damn, man.
I'll be right back. 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. That was a crazy episode. Obviously, we saw Luke and Grogu training. We saw Din heading to the planet to check on Grogu. Obviously, we saw Ahsoka. And then obviously the big badass Cad Bane that we've been talking about for weeks now. Damn, that was just, you couldn't have asked for a better fucking episode. That's just a love song. A love letter. Sorry, not a love song. A love letter. The Clone Wars fans. Because all of this comes from Clone Wars. We wouldn't have Mandalorians without Clone Wars. Cad Bane, Ahsoka. So looking at all this was just, oh man, I loved it. Joel, what were your thoughts on last week's episode of Book of Boba Fett?
It was like almost jaw-dropping. Entertaining it was, because like there was so much fan services, they like to say, which again I don't find that as a bad thing. I do still see people complaining about it, like they're upset, like why does it, I don't understand why it bothers them.
If you saw my Twitter today, I was arguing back and forth with, I think that was Kanan, I'm not fucking sure. Weaponizing fan service is probably one of the biggest reasons why some people just don't deserve to be fans. Because it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, could you picture seeing Brandon Routh in a Superman movie today and them playing Christopher Reeve's music and someone going, that's just fucking fan service. So what?
Yeah.
So what? It's like, I don't understand. Why is it a bad thing to give you good shit?
I don't get it.
I'll never understand that. I'm like, guys, you're watching a show that is fan service. Boba breathing right now is one massive fan service.
It is.
And none of y'all complained about that when we first got word Boba was coming back. No one was just like, oh, that's fan service. I don't give a fuck. Keep him dead. No, you loved it. Now, just because the babies aren't getting the Boba Fett that they want, that just decides I want to slit a throat just because it's fan service now, everything that we get. I thought it was Boba's show. How come I'm not seeing enough of the Boba that I just complained about for 4 fucking straight weeks that I didn't like?
It's true too.
Like, Joel, I will never understand weaponizing fan service. Why is that an issue? I don't understand.
Who's complaining? I don't understand that either. Like, why do you complain? Like, why? Like, they gave us something really cool and different. And yeah, it's awkward, like positioning wise, like putting it in the middle of a show we expected to be about Boba. Yeah, I'll give you that. But who cares? What they're giving us is like golden.
That's all we keep saying. And that's why I said, I swear to God, these can't be Star Wars fans. These can't be Star Wars fans. Like, you can't be a Star Wars fan and this bothers you that much. You just can't be. And as I'm starting to find out, Joel, most of these people that are complaining never watch Clone Wars. So seeing Ahsoka is like, I don't care. Seeing Cad Bane, I don't care. And that's why I'm like, well, then you're not. And I'm not saying you're not a true Star Wars fan because you didn't watch it, but I'm like, that's why you're complaining. You don't know what the fuck you're looking at. Oh, well, I Googled it. Well, that does nothing. Like, that does absolutely nothing for you. Nothing.
I'm glad you Googled it.
Right. And that's why I keep trying to explain to people, like, oh, we haven't seen Boba since the original movies. That's not true. The books are canon. Clone Wars, the animated series, is canon. We have seen Boba outside of just those 2 movies. If you choose not to read or watch it, that's a you problem. You know what I'm saying? So, oh man, Joel, we yelled. We yelled so much. Trayvon said on the Friday show, I ain't saying nothing else about Star Wars. You and Joel yelled at me. And I told him, I said, Trayvon, first of all, Joel never yells. That's passion. If Joel gets to that point, it's because you're not understanding what he's trying to say. That's passion. He's never actually, I've seen Joel yell. That's not yelling. I say, and 2, you keep speaking about shit you don't like without having the full picture. And that's what me off.
I was only arguing that, like, it didn't make sense what he was saying. Like, it didn't make sense. Because they kept saying it. Like, yeah, it does. I mean, how does it make sense? You're telling me that the writers wrote the first 4 episodes, and then those next 2, they said, fuck it, what we wrote is garbage. Let's put this in. It doesn't make any sense.
Because when you say that, I'm picturing a writer's room where Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are sitting there, and the writers come up to John and Dave and are like, hey, look, these are not 4 strong episodes. So do me a favor. Can you guys craft 2 episodes that are really fucking good? They forget about these last 4. Like, what? That makes... And then I'm arguing, people telling me, well, are we sure we're going to get Boba Fett in the finale? I'm like...
I'm pretty sure you're going to get Boba Fett in the finale.
I hate you guys so fucking much. You just don't understand. You don't understand how much I fucking hate you right now. Like, this is why I say sometimes too much podding is a bad thing. Because you just start to pod with people that just don't have the same knowledge or passion as you. And that's gut-wrenching. Because I'm arguing a wall. You know what I'm saying? I'm arguing a wall.
I do. I get it. It's like...
Good. And I don't ever like to ever make it feel like I'm gatekeeping, because I'm not. You know, we don't do that. We're advocates against it. But at some points, it's just like, you guys have to stop saying books and cartoons that are all canon just don't matter. Like, because you didn't watch it doesn't mean it didn't matter. It just means you didn't watch it.
It obviously matters because they're using it. So it's like...
That's what I'm saying. And that's why it pisses me off when they're just like, well, I didn't watch it. Well, then that's why you don't care. You have no idea what you're looking at. Go watch it and then come back here and then maybe you'll understand.
We'll talk about it.
Right. And I'm like, they're like, oh, I didn't need Luke and Ahsoka in the same episode. Anyone who's ever watched Ahsoka
complaining
and Luke, that's like a dream come true to see those 2 interact anywhere. I don't give a fuck where they interacted. You know what I'm saying?
No,
anywhere.
I do.
So yeah, I know, Joe. Me and you are on the same page, man. I told you when I was doing the MCR, when I was doing it through WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, and What If, it just kept pissing me off because I was doing it with people who don't read comic books. So I'm talking about shit that I feel is important, and they're just like, well, I don't think it's important. Well, do you know what I'm talking about? No. Well, then that's why you don't think it's important. There's no need to argue with me. You don't know anything. Like, shut the fuck up.
I think that's what upset Trayvon. He's like, I don't give a fuck what you think. That was mean. I didn't mean to say that. I was just upset.
But that's what I'm saying. I will defend you tooth and nail about that. Because if you know Joel, you know he didn't mean that in like a malicious way. He just meant that more so as like, all right, you're one person who doesn't like it. Who cares? Like, move aside, because there's a billion of us that eat this shit up. We won all of this. So it wasn't meant maliciously, obviously, but look, I screamed in Friday's podcast, so I don't blame you at all. I was arguing.
Like, we get you didn't like the first couple episodes, fine. Like, we get it. But why does that stop you from liking the shit that is coming? And if you like it, why do you have to take a shit on the shit that came before? We understand you didn't like it. You know what I mean?
Right. And the biggest thing we kept saying was, if you keep ending your sentences with, but I thought these were two of the greatest episodes ever, that should be a period after, not a comma, for you to complain about some shit. You think they were the two greatest episodes you've ever seen in your life? Why can't you just accept it as that?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why are we looking past that? You got it? That's enough. That's enough. You liked it. Done. Is it weird? Sure.
100%.
Sure. Who gives a fuck? I was telling them, I'm like, bro, if they came out with a Nightwing movie tomorrow and Batman was in 95% of that shit, guess who's not complaining? Me. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. Was the movie good? Yeah, but it wasn't enough Nightwing. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Now, see, where this conversation becomes a problem, Joel, is when you look at things like Birds of Prey. I didn't think Birds of Prey was the greatest movie ever. That's when it's just like, all right, it was too much overshadowing things that are supposed to matter. But in this, it's like, well, you didn't like the Boba Fett you got anyway. So why wouldn't you like that they're taking a break from Boba Fett and you're getting other things? Anyway, me and Joel have nothing else to add for that.
Sorry. Like, I don't know what else to say, honestly. Like,
we've done it ad nauseum. Ad nauseum. We can't do it anymore. We can't do it anymore. Sorry. We can't argue with you guys.
I let it get to me. I admit it. Like, but like,
you weren't alone.
I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't know. Like, we're here to discuss it. We would talk about it. If you don't like it, okay. I mean, I don't have to like your opinion.
Right. That was our point. That's why I kept trying to explain. What you're saying is personal, and just because other people say it doesn't mean it's right. It just means all of you I think the same fucking stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? That's all that means. You know, and I'm not saying that me and you are right. I'm just saying if you don't like it, you just don't always have to be the loudest. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be so. Look, you don't like it, say your piece. Don't be a dick about it. That's all.
That's it. But strutting around just like, it's not the Boba we deserve, bitch. How about this? How about I put him back in the fucking Sarlacc pit? How about that? How about that? How about you never get him again? How about that? Like, goodness, that'd be like me complaining, like, damn, when we got Maul back, robotic legs, him being psychopath. Oh, this is the worst.
They fleshed him out. That's what they did.
But it took time. That's the point. It took time. So if you want Boba to go back to the way you think he was, because again, you saw Boba for a total of 20 minutes between two movies. So they're acting like Boba had this massive arc that he's changed from.
He's already a different person.
Right. Like he had no personality when you saw him. Now he has a personality. And this is what he wants his personality to be.
Yeah, he's went through a journey. He's trying to explain to you that he lived a different life. He could still kick ass, but he doesn't want to rule a certain way.
Right. He doesn't want to walk in a room and just murder people because they looked at him wrong. He doesn't want to do that. At
the end of the day, he wants to be in charge of a fucking syndicate. Like, are you serious? Right. That's not a good person.
Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, they didn't make him like. I don't understand. I don't understand at all. I don't understand at all. And then I got an argument of, well, I'm like, well, obviously Boba's going to join this team that they're building to fight off Admiral Thrawn down the line. Well, if he leaves Tatooine, wouldn't someone else take over? No. Why would you think that? I'm like, no. Why would you think that? Well, then is his focus?
As long as he's not dead, he's
right. It's like, oh, well, no. His focus now is saving the day, not the underworld. I'm like, I don't understand why you're separating the two. I don't understand. That'd be like saying, oh, Don Corleone left New York. Oh shit, that means
what it's gonna be is a favor for a favor. That's what it's gonna be.
That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm like, him going off of Tatooine for like a week he's not gonna come home and someone there is like, I took over now. What? No, that's not how it works.
I'm the captain now.
Yeah, that's not how it works. So you telling me if Don Corleone went to New Jersey for an afternoon, he came back and it's like, oh no, someone else took over. We own New
What
York.
the fuck? Who? That's who in charge. Can't just walk in here and take over.
That's what I'm saying. Like what? I think people keep forgetting he killed Bit for
Even though he did, he kind of fucking did. He walked in there and took over.
No, but he killed him to do it. He didn't just walk in there and say, "Hey, I'm in charge now." He had to kill someone to do that. So that was frustrating. But anyway, Tamar Morrison did a recent interview where he said he hopes he gets to see Mace Windu again because they got a lot of unfinished business. And if anyone who follows me on Twitter saw the argument I got in today, just so you guys know, Mace Windu is not dead. He's not dead. That's fine, but no one's ever confirmed that he was dead. That's all I'm saying. So, like, we saw Darth Maul actually physically die and then was brought back. So I'm like, today, that means nothing. We all thought Boba was dead after that movie till he was brought back. That's all I'm saying. It's not a definitive, like, Anakin's dead. We don't have to worry about them digging him up and bringing him back. He's super dead. That's all I'm saying. There's a difference between when Vader died and when Mace Windu just went missing. So I'm saying it would be perfect for Mace Windu to turn up again in the Ahsoka series. If they don't want to use him.
He'd be like 90.
He was
already old Clone Wars.
No, he was in his late 30s in Clone Wars. That's what the cartoon was alluding to, that he was in his late 30s in the cartoons. He'd be pretty old. I'm not asking for a Mace Windu series or even for him to be doing a whole bunch of shit. But just for him to pop up for Ahsoka to see a familiar face, I would love that. and then for Ahsoka to go, for Mace Windu to go, whatever happened to Anakin? Oh, he turned to Vader and then he died. Mace Windu was like, I tried to fucking tell y'all he was a piece of shit. I tried to tell y'all. But to me, I personally would love to see Mace Windu come back just to see what he looks like. Like, did he get 2 robotic arms? Is his eye messed up? Like a lot of people draw him as for some strange reason. There's a lot I want to know more so about Mace Windu. And that is a debt that needs to be settled between those two. But all right, we can move on to Peacemaker. This show, it confuses me, Joel. This show confuses me so much. I was telling Joe, when you saw the butterfly take over that cop, right?
Yeah.
What confused me about that was it seems like their goal is to take over humans. But when Vigilante fell out of the tree and cracked the glass, the butterfly didn't go after Vigilante or Peacemaker.
Yeah, went after the cop.
Right. So I'm like, wouldn't you go after the 2 people you know are the most ruthless killers? Why didn't you go after the cop? So I'm very curious. Is that just story-wise?
Yeah.
It's like clearly you didn't want either one of them taken over.
I would
or
say
is there a relationship with
it.
Butterfly?
That's what I would say.
Because I'm like, I mean, they did establish that the Butterfly had grown a relationship with Peacemaker. Because he could have killed it.
It could have, yeah, exactly. So maybe just left him off.
Right.
You know, I honestly didn't know that she was a bad guy. Till obviously the whole thing happened.
I still don't know if she's the bad guy. I still don't know.
They're depicting her as the bad guy.
Right, because to me, I looked at it, and I think I'm super wrong, but I looked at it more so as maybe they have to inhabit people because that's how they stay alive, because they're not on their home planet anymore. We don't know how to
explain it. The last episode, they explained almost everything about the butterfly.
And was that mentioned?
Yeah, they explained why they're doing it, what they're doing.
Yeah.
And all that. They explained all that.
So, okay, we're not going to say it on air because I'm pretty sure if you don't know it, you don't want to know it. But did you hear the big rumor about the finale?
No.
No? Okay. So if you do want to know, I'll talk to you off air. I won't say it on air. Because I don't want to ruin it for anyone else.
A couple more days, so.
No. That's episode 7. This week is episode 7. The finale is next week.
Is it big?
It's, if true, it is massive. It's massive. And I'll say this, it's appearances. That's what it is, to give you an idea. And like I said, if you want to know, I'll tell you off air. I won't ruin it for our listeners. But when I did Joe's podcast, his co-host Kitty was like, I want to know. When I told her, she was like, what the fuck? It's like, I know. When I heard it, I was like,
huh?
Bananas. But no, how did you like this newest episode of Peacemaker? Obviously him playing Bring Your Hero to Work Day. Then obviously him being hunted by the cops. My favorite scene of this episode, as I pass it to you, 100% was when his dad suited up. I know as a black man that sounds really crazy, but to see how good that suit looks.
But as a geek, you're like, oh, that is
right.
Cool.
As a geek, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna betray everything my black side stands for. But that suit looks fucking beautiful. I can't lie, it looks really good. So what were your thoughts on this episode?
Great. It was a great episode. Another one. I loved how it started. Like them running from the cops. That psycho fucking guy who's the sheriff or the chief, whatever.
His Hamburglar line was fucking epic.
Now, like everybody's a fucking butterfly. So you're like, oh shit! Like everyone you got to know at the police department, all converted. So
I want to ask you this really quickly. Were you shocked to find out that he wasn't a butterfly?
Who?
The guy we were talking about that made the Hamburglar joke.
Oh, no, I wasn't that shocked.
I was, because I thought his weird personality was like Mern. I thought he was like Mern.
I thought he was a friend of Mern's, like the original Mern's. That's why he's so like cold-blooded.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like crazy. And that's probably why that he knew him from Mern's like memories, not that he actually knows the dude. Not this butterfly, at least. You know what I mean?
Okay, I get you.
I wasn't shocked. Like, if it came out that he was a butterfly, then I would be, I guess that makes sense. But like, it didn't hit me that way though.
Okay, I get you. Go ahead.
It was again fucking vigilante, stupid. He had one line, I can't remember it now, but he had one fucking line that made me crack up. I have to rewatch it, but it was in the beginning. every episode he says one thing. It's so stupid. Like, that made me laugh. So that their dynamic continues to fucking make me laugh. Damn, I gotta rewatch the episode because I don't remember everything that happened. I know they did talk about the butterflies. They explained because when Mern got there, they didn't want to tell Peacemaker about it, right? I believe.
Right.
Forget. It's been a while.
No. So, because remember the episode starts with Adebayo in the street, and then you see what's her name? I can't remember her name. But she comes. She comes up, yes, and she confuses you as a viewer because she comes up very cold-blooded and goes, "Does she know?" Mm-hmm. And it's like, "Fuck, are you a butterfly too?" And then she explains that they knew that he was a. Because remember, she said the joke of Economos always puts his fingers in his ears because he doesn't want to hear it, and then Economos walks in and she's like, "Did you know he was a butterfly?" La 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 la. Like I don't want to hear this. And then obviously
I don't want to lie to Waller.
Right. He was very afraid of that. So then obviously you see Peacemaker and Vigilante make their way back to the headquarters where Peacemaker says, "Stop fucking lying to me. What's going on?" And Adebayo goes, "He's a fucking butterfly." And then that's when they're explaining everything of, about Mern, about the butterflies and whatnot. Because most of the episode was them escaping, Peacemaker having the cops swarm him. I died laughing when Vigilante pulls the knife out, and Peacemaker's like, "No, she's a cop," and I'm like, he is so ready to kill, bro. Like, he just does not care. He's like, "I will kill everybody for my friendship." Really, is freedom. But that's so funny because they wouldn't have arrested Vigilante. They were only after Peacemaker. So his his willingness to kill for him was hilarious. I'm trying to think of what else big happened in the episode. Obviously, like I said, Peacemaker's dad getting his freak on before suiting up. And then obviously us seeing white power, which is a symbol.
Yeah. White power symbol. Oh yeah, that whole fucking white power thing. At the house, right?
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. I was like, okay,
I was not at all. I was just
different.
I was like, all right, I'm uncomfortable.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm like seeing her nude helped kind of balance things. So she put on the sheet and it was just like, oh, come on. like, come on. I was just starting to like you. Why would you? Come on. But no, that suit looks freaking awesome. So obviously we know it's an all-out battle between Peacemaker and his father in the next episode.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna kill my son. I'm like, oh, you saw that coming.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah, we kind of put those things together. We saw that happening.
He has to confront his father. It's been leading up to this.
Right. But yeah, that's pretty much all that really happened in this episode. So now that Adebayo knows, I'm curious, is this what her... Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. That book really made no sense. And I'm still not really understanding the true purpose of that book.
It's the frame Peacemaker.
But what confuses me about that is your goal was to always put him back in prison. It's why you have the team around him. The team was supposed to bring him back in. Mm-hmm. I'd understand if he went rogue and wasn't working with the team, then it's like, well, we need something that if anything happens, there's nowhere he can go. He's wanted. But I'm like, we got that without the book. So that's what.
I think it was all set. I think it was set up for him to get killed at the end. But I think that's how I took it the first time I watched it. I gotta rewatch it.
Yeah, maybe I do too, because I was very confused. I'm like, he's already wanted, so I'm like, he was wanted before the book, so that didn't help. And I'm like, they have a shoot to kill order, so that also didn't help. So and then obviously they revealed the book at the end, but I'm like, at this point, I don't understand.
They explained that too, though. They explained the book and what she wanted to do. God damn it. And I don't remember. I'm sorry.
I don't remember that either. I don't remember it so much. I don't remember mentioning the book outside of plant it, and she plants it. So yeah, that fucking confused the shit out of me. Trying to think what else. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So we got to see how, all this shit lands. But this is not the finale where you got confused with Joel, and this is what confused you. And that's why I was telling people Disney fucked this up. We're used to everything being 8 episodes. So the fact that Book of Boba is only 7, it makes us feel like, oh, okay. So if Book of Boba is on the finale, Peacemaker must be too, but it's 1 episode short. Yeah. So that's what messed up. Because if it was 8 episodes for both, it would line up. And no.
No, there had to be 1 less.
Right, one less. But luckily, it is 1 less because it's after this week. We don't have to hear these fucking people's mouths anymore. About
you can wait for Obi-Wan. They can complain there.
Right, they can complain there. Oh my God, it's supposed to be about Obi-Wan. Why do I keep seeing this Vader guy? Like, how the fuck could you complain about that? Like, what? So yes, I had to prepare myself for that. But luckily we don't have to, we have to between now and May. Star Wars needs to do more of, Joel? It needs to do what Marvel's doing. Just start giving us characters people have never heard of before. That way it just limits the amount of shit they can complain about. It's why when we were talking Moon Knight, what did everyone keep saying? I don't know who Moon Knight is. I don't know enough about Moon Knight. So it's like, so I can talk about the show peacefully. Because you don't know a fucking thing. So you can't argue it. You can't not like it. You know what I'm saying? You don't know anything. So I'm like, shit, we need another Mandalorian type series where it's like, it's a whole new character. They don't know. They can't fucking complain.
Well, they'll find something.
Yeah, we have to wait until the fucking Acolyte. The Acolyte is something they don't know about. So it's like, oh, good.
Yes.
Fucking complain. Unless the story is about Darth Talos, but I don't think any of the people we podcast with know Darth Talos enough to complain. Anyway, so yeah. So Peacemaker was awesome. This is not the finale. It's the penultimate. Next week is the finale. And me and Joel will be doing a Peacemaker review episode this week. So stay tuned for that. We didn't do one last week. We apologize. That's on me, but we'll do one this week. All right.
Pressure in my head then.
Yes. All right, let's move on to the shows that we watch. I started Arrested Development for you, Joel.
Did you?
I did, because I value our friendship, and it is one of the most weirdest, funniest shows I've ever seen in my life.
Very much is.
I feel like I missed a few episodes because you know, like when you put a comedy on where you feel like you're tired, but you're not, like I could fall asleep any minute.
Mm-hmm.
I did that, and the mistake I made was I got a few episodes in, and Netflix was like, "Do you want me to keep checking on you, or are you good?" And I'm like, "Don't bother me again." And I woke up at the end of season 1. It was season 5, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like,
Why did you sleep?
like you should have stopped. Netflix, yeah, you should have stopped. I was gone. I think I fell asleep at like 8, woke up at like 4 a.m. And I was just like, you went through everything. But luckily it's a comedy, so it's not like something happens and I'm like, wait, what? I was spoiled. I did wake up and his younger brother didn't have a hand. So I was like, well, I missed that.
What? Yeah.
Like,
Shit happens since then.
Yeah. But I did start that for you. But let's talk about stuff that newer shows. Obviously, we got the finale of Power.
Yeah.
And let me just say this. Very good on you, Power, because I really did think because she had her own show now on ABC that we probably wouldn't see Tasha again. Seeing her always feels good. It's literally, as far as that show, the last connected piece to Ghost. So seeing her always feels really, really, really good. So I love seeing her. I always thought it was funny as I was watching it, Joel, to where Tamika was like, I don't know who that kid is you're referring to, and you can't ever see him, but we brought him here. But you can't see him. Like, you know he's sitting in the car, but you can't see him. Why did you bring him? You didn't need to bring him at all. But he did pull some ghost shit. That is a ghost move if I've ever seen one. To where Ghost is just like, all right, you think you got me cornered in? Can't have my child or my sib, whatever. All right, here you go. Fast. So I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that Mecca died.
You really enjoyed that Mecca died?
I enjoyed that. So I didn't need them to take his son with him, but I did enjoy that Mecca died. I was growing very old of Mecca. Very, very, very old. He was reminding me more and more of Lobos, to where it was just like, after a few episodes of Lobos, I was just like, yeah, he has to die. I can't. This character's boring me. Lobos was not one of my favorite Power villains. I'm saying villains like it's a superhero show.
Antagonists.
Right. You know what I did find funny?
No, I did not.
And I'm like, clearly everything was moving so quickly, so they didn't really think about it. But the fact that Tariq walked in through the front door, went up an elevator, and then he goes, this is the part that had me dying laughing 4 o'clock in the morning. He goes, all right, we're good. I scrubbed everything in the apartment, like the footage and everything. It's like, Tariq, why would you think that there's no cameras in the lobby? Like, why would you think that either the guy at the front desk wouldn't recognize you or a camera wouldn't be somewhere where it recognizes you? Why would you honestly think like, no, I just walk in here, kill a guy, walk out, no problem, no one knows? I didn't understand that. I thought that was really stupid. At some point, this law enforcement has to go, bro, you know what? It's a law. We do not prosecute the St. Patrick's, okay? We've lost too many people. We've put in too many man hours, and these motherfuckers don't stay in jail. Enough. Yeah. Enough. But what were your thoughts, Joe? If you need a refresher, I memorized like this whole fucking episode if you need a refresher at any point. But what did you think of this finale?
It was a good finale. So this girl did die. I was wondering if they were gonna actually kill her off. Apparently she did die. Whatever her name is.
I am very curious though, Joel, if that's a cover. Like if they actually found her and they're telling Tariq and everyone that she's dead, so Tariq has no need to look for her anymore. Because again, Effie could have staged a car. Because we said it last week. We thought it was possible maybe Effie didn't kill her because we didn't see it. So maybe it's possible she didn't kill her. So maybe it was staged so no one would come after her. Because I'm like, and her name is Lauren. I'm like, that was very interesting that they went the route of killing her off. Like, that's a young character I thought they would have held on to.
Maybe they're gonna hold off until she's older.
That's possible.
Remark, she comes back out of nowhere. Imagine.
Like, hey, I know you. And she's like, I'm pregnant. What? It's yours. But yeah, what else did you think of the episode?
Overall, it was a very good episode. I feel like I don't know how to review things anymore. I have to little go through. Like, it was good.
I was like, I lost it. I don't know.
Like, what do you want me to say? I don't know. You want me to go through the whole episode? Like
no, just whatever you liked. Just whatever you liked. Whatever stood out to you. We could talk Braden not snitching and taking
I like that.
Brother.
Braden not snitching. I did not know what to expect because I know they teased that he was going to show up and actually be on the thing. And yeah, he ended up backing up Tariq. I'm like, that was nice of him. Right. Very cool. And his white ass is gonna get out of it. So he knew better. He's like, I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah, he's like, I have white privilege on my side. I'm good.
That's exactly what I was thinking as he was doing that. He's like, I have white privilege. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Like, I'm good. I'm straight. Wow. What else? I did love the way it ended. Actually, throughout the episode, he was saying that he wanted out of the game because he really wanted the money so he can get out of the game, and I appreciated that. That's what I wanted to hear from him. Is that like, this is not good for you, right? Like, this is the reason that this is all is a mess is because you wanted to be in the game,
right?
Period. You know what I mean?
You realize he's not built for this shit. He's like, I don't want to keep doing this. I gotta.
No, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it.
Right, especially when all I have to do is graduate and I get millions of dollars. Like, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. But that's why I love the line of him at the end when Monet's like, look, deal's a deal. You're out. You're good. You can go about your life. And he's like, yeah, about that. I don't got to those monies. I needs the monies. So we gonna still work some shit out. It's okay. We'll figure something out. But I needs the monies. So I appreciated that. One thing I thought was hilarious, though, is when her husband thought he was taking out Mecca, and it was really Mecca's son. Yes. I was just like, damn, this man slept with your wife and was trying to take out your family and kill you. You didn't even want to look the man in the eye and kill him. So he was just like, no, I just need him dead.
Yes.
He was like, oh, damn, okay, that's weird.
Where was he going? Like, I don't understand where Zeke was going. Did it say where he was going?
No, remember, Zeke's dad had told him the jet will be waiting for you if you want to leave. So I think he was probably going to confront Monet and say, I know you killed the teacher.
My girl, yeah.
Right. And then I think he was just going there to either confront her or to leave with his dad because there was nothing else left for him there. So that's why he went to the jet. The dad had set it up earlier in the episode when they were talking of like, hey man, we all want to get the fuck out of here. Let's do this.
They died around the same time too. Imagine dying and seeing your dad. They're like, what the fuck happened? I got killed. Too.
Like, you get up there and you're like, whoa, hold on. Why are you here? No, hold on. Why are you here?
Your mother killed me. What? Your mother? Who killed me? I have no idea. That's a weird conversation.
And his dad's like, well, good news. We have a lot of time to catch up.
We're here together at least.
But I did think that was really weird, man. I was like, oh, damn. That's just you saying, all right, well, Zeke will never play in the NBA, so Monique's dream is done, so he can die. Like, that's essentially what they said. Monet can't live out her dream, so you can die now. I thought that was hilarious.
I didn't know who to trust when Monet was talking. Like, who? I swear, like, she was trying to backstab everybody at the same time. I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna work.
I swear, if Monet could have reenacted the movie of Wanted and curved that fucking bullet to kill Tariq, her husband, and Mecca, she would have. She 100% would have. She 100% would have. But yeah, and I loved when what you call it. By the way, Diana, you're slowly creeping up my has to die list. Because your damn cousin would still be alive if you would just mind your goddamn business, girl. Goodness, what did they say? Don't look in the back.
Yeah,
Do
really.
not look in the back. And then her dad goes, "Did you look in the back? Why you so bad looked in the back?" I looked in the back. Like, I only got a little bit though, but I looked in that shit. I was dying laughing.
She's the best example of curiosity killing a cat. Now she ain't died yet, but it might kill her one day.
1,000% we're killing one. She's gonna walk into something where they're just like, "Oh, well, look, now you gotta die." I told you not to come here. You came here, you saw, now you gotta go. But that's pretty much it of Power. Were you sold by this first episode of Tommy? Well, technically it's called Force. I don't know why. Such a weird name. But what were your thoughts on Tommy's first episode of his series?
I think it was fine. I thought it ended kind of like quick for me. I thought there was more to it. But no, I didn't right into it. I'm like, okay, that was a quick episode. I thought it was gonna be a little bit longer. But I liked it. I liked where it's set up. I like that he's the brother.
I love that the writers were just like, damn, Tommy always needs someone black in his life. And then 50 was like, don't even worry about it. I wrote this part in. He has a black brother. What? Yeah, don't ask questions. Black brother. Done.
Well, same mother. He's probably mixed. So his mother.
Right. No, of course. Right.
She be hoeing.
She be hoeing. Damn, Joe.
Tommy's like, I don't trust that bitch anymore.
Yeah. He was just like, and I got a mom that's not dead. Well, she's dead to me. So yeah, don't reach out to her. Don't do that. She don't need to know where I'm at. What I liked most was that they explained the whole Los Angeles thing to start the show.
Yeah, I like that.
I remember saying to myself in the trailer, it kept saying he's in Chicago, and I'm like,
yeah,
it said he was going to LA. Is this going to be explained? And then he's heading to LA, almost crashes and sees Chicago, and it's like, I'll just go here. Yeah, I'll just go here. Just go here. And I loved how he's like, he had the mindset of, I'm going to rob Chicago, and then I'm going to still go to LA. It's just like, that's weird. I don't think that's going to work, Tommy.
Changed his mind halfway. He's like, I'm staying. Everyone keeps telling me to leave. Oh, fuck you. Don't tell me what to do.
And Joel, and you want to know, like, audience, I'm telling you guys right now, without actually knowing this, I'm going to tell you guys what Joel's favorite part of this episode was. You ready? Fuck Boston and fuck Tom Brady. I was just like, what? How does he just catch strays? Like, he did nothing. But I did love it because when you hear Tommy, he does sound like almost every Bostoner ever created. But I love how Tommy took.
He looks like he's from Boston. That's what does it. He doesn't sound like he's from Boston because his accent is not from Boston.
It's not thick. It's not thick at all. Not at all.
It's not a Boston accent though. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a New York accent.
Yeah,
but he looks like he's from Boston. He looks like straight up Irish and shit. And he is Irish, probably, but
no, he is. He's 100% Irish.
Yeah.
But I did love him sticking up for New York, though. I appreciated
it. Yeah, he said Brady could like eat a dick or whatever.
Right. I'm just imagining Tom Brady watching. It's like, man, I love 50. I'm gonna support this show. And he's like, wait a minute, what? Why?
And that's how you know you're doing something right.
Yes, that is how you know you're doing something right. Where 50 Cent is like, yo, I'm so New York. Fuck Tom Brady. It's like, aren't y'all friends? Fuck him anyway. But I loved it. I can't wait to see what's up with the barber and his brother, and obviously that cop that just randomly walked in.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was so weird.
Shit.
He was such a creep where he was just like, "Hey, we're closed," and he's like, "All right, cool. I'm just sitting here anyway."
We didn't even open yet. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I don't think you know what closed means, but closed. And I think that's really sucky that cops don't have to do that. Like, that's the gray area. Like, you should have to say you're a cop as soon as you walk in. Like, I'm a cop. I'm cop.
Show your badge.
Like he was about to slit his throat until he showed the badge. So that cop got lucky. He was about to get buried out in the backyard somewhere. But this show has a lot of moving parts that I'm very interested in. Clearly, the daughter's gonna have her brother or her father killed at some point so she can take over. you could just see that the writing's on that
Yeah.
wall.
Brother's an idiot, and she's conniving.
Right. That's but she has great taste. That Asian chick looked remarkable. Uh, so I'm game for more.
One thing I thought about was Juwaan was watching like that.
No, once I saw Asian up in there, I was just like, I'm uncovering. I like this. But no, it was a really cool episode. I can't wait to see where this show goes. Because it's like Tommy wants to be a boss, but clearly he's gonna have to start by working for someone again. So that's gonna be very interesting to see how he maneuvers in and out of this. Even in the trailer for this week's episode, his brother goes, "Yeah, man, I'll help you however I can. We're brothers." And he's like, "Easy on that." like I know I called you, but relax. It's not, my brother just died. You're not there yet. Relax.
You're only blood.
Yeah, you're only blood. And he's like, "Well, doesn't that mean something?" Not really. To me, not at all. Not at all. So I'm really excited for this series. And the main reason I'm excited for this series, outside of obviously it just looks great, is I'm really hoping Kanan's show is the very next show after this is done. Because we know Ghost is filming now. So that'll probably premiere the end of this year. Right. So I'm like, you have between now and like September, October, November. So I'm like, that Kanan show has to be pretty, not pretty soon, but when this ends. So shout out to 50, man. You built a really cool universe. Usually when spinoffs happen, they're bad. You know what I'm saying? Like one or two of them are bad, but this has been great. This has been awesome. All three of these shows have been great.
That's why they've been slow with it. They're like, all right, well, 2 seasons of this, 2 seasons of that. Then hopefully Tommy will get, by the time he's Force's second season, they'll probably have the next one, which is the Tate one.
Yes. Yep. Governor Tate. Yeah. Which I hope they take their time with that, because if I'm being honest with you, I like seeing Tate pop up in other shit. So I'm like, I like him to keep popping up and stuff. I've been enjoying him a lot. So, albeit I do want him to have his own show, because I think the actor is freaking amazing, but please do keep Tate and other people's shit too. All right. So outside of that, what else? Anything else drop? Nothing else. Oh, so what are they saying about the Batman? We could see it the 1st instead of the 4th?
Oh, yeah. We can see it the 1st instead of the 4th, yeah.
Now, what do we have to do? Because I just tagged you in it, so I didn't forget about it. But I didn't look into it. I was super busy this afternoon. What did you see what it was saying? Like, do we have to meet requirements or some shit?
You just buy the tickets, apparently. You gotta, I don't. They're probably not gonna be at every theater, so you gotta like look and see which theater.
You know what that means, right?
What?
There'll be nothing in New Jersey. It'll all be in New York.
We'll see. I'll check it.
All that tells me is Chicago, LA, and New York. That's all that shit tells me. It won't be in fucking Wichita. So if you're in Wichita listening to this, you won't be able to see
Wichita.
You will not see it on the 1st. I promise you that. So as soon as you said that, I'm like, shit, I know what that means. I've seen this game before. I've seen it before. But no, we're steps closer, man. We're steps closer to that. And the closer we get to the Batman, the closer we get to Moon Knight.
Yeah.
That's where my mind is.
I'm ready. Yeah, I already got my Batman poster up, so I'm ready to go.
You mean you got it as your
my wallpaper, yeah.
Goddamn, Joel. I still to this day don't know if I'm emotionally ready for that movie.
I'm excited. Really excited.
Goodness gracious. This is interesting. Tom Holland says when asked what's his dream video game adaptation, Tom Holland says he would like to make a dark and gritty Jack and Daxter.
That's weird.
Where he would play Jack.
I mean, it did get weird.
Huh?
I said it did get weird, like dark at the part 2 and part 3.
I've never played this game, but I do know how drastically popular this game is.
PlayStation game.
If it wants to be brought to life, bring it to life. I know Joel's not 100% sold on Tom Holland playing everything, but
Oh, I'm like, why? No need. No need.
No argument here. No argument
um,
here
I
whatsoever.
love the kid. I just, there are other people. Fuck.
Yeah.
Share the wealth.
Share the fucking wealth. Share it.
Yeah, Jack and Daxter would be interesting. It'd be, to me, that would have to be like a CGI movie or whatever.
Oh, for Daxter.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
for the most part, Jack is not really human either. So,
But what would
it's
you, because I'm not familiar with the kid, so I'm this is not like pushing that. I'm literally asking, what about him would need to be CGI? Because he looks human as shit. Does he
he
have
looks
power or
human.
something?
He looks human enough, and then they give him a gun.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But he didn't have gun in the first game.
So it's not necessarily like he turned into like an alien or some shit.
No, no, he does do a lot of weird slams and um spins, like Taz, that kind of shit. Where he has a spin hit move. He has like a headbutt type of move.
I'm telling you right now, the fact that he said this, if Uncharted does really good money, which me and you believe it will,
Maybe.
A24 and Sony are just like, okay, you want this now? Yeah, all right, give it to him. I'm telling you, that shit's gonna be greenlit before this year is over. I promise you.
I would much prefer a Sly Cooper movie.
You're fucking
Personally.
God's ears. Oh, you know how bad I want that fucking game developed into something. It's the best of both worlds, man. A fun, you can make somewhat dark heist film. Fuck yeah, I want that, man. All right. So the last big news, Joel, unless I'm missing something, is the Madam Web, maybe not Madam Web news that we got. The Hollywood Reporter, or from what I was seeing, was very confusing about that. But obviously, so everyone knows, because everyone knows that I don't like it. But obviously, if Dakota Johnson, right? Dakota Johnson? Yeah. If Dakota Johnson did indeed get this role, it obviously is not the old woman, Madam Web, not even the one that sits in the chair.
Obviously.
It'll obviously be a much younger one. But I'm like, when you hear that casting, you're just like, because I know Kanan had posted it to Twitter, and he's like, she just sounds like she'd be a better Spider-Woman. And I'm like, I agree. Like, but I also agree biasly because I just want any excuse not to give me this fucking movie. But what are your thoughts on this possible casting for Madam Web with Dakota Johnson?
I don't know. I'm open to something, whatever they give me. I have no idea what to expect from it. I'm very much a person that is, again, very open-minded. So it's like, it seems like they're not going in the traditional route of a Madam Web, because you really can't, because she's a fucking old woman who didn't fight people. She just had like premonitions and shit. She was psychic.
Yeah, she could bring people together. She was a lazy ass Nick Fury.
Yeah, but she was sick. She was in a chair. She had a disease. She had pipes going through her body that looked like webs. Right. She was this old blind lady, you know what I mean? So it just, on its face, it didn't make sense for a lot of people that know Madam Web as that character. Now there is a point where she becomes younger, and there's also a point where she transfers her abilities to a different character, which was Julia Carpenter, I believe. Which is a Spider Woman who was in that Iron Man cartoon. I keep telling you about.
Yes. Okay.
That Spider Woman. That was the first Spider Woman I knew as Spider Woman.
Okay, so that's why Kanan's saying maybe it's a swerve and she is playing Spider Woman. But that makes no sense because we know an actual Spider Woman movie is coming.
Yeah, but she might not be that Spider Woman. Because Jessica Drew's the Spider Woman they're gonna probably make the movie about. Julia Carpenter is not. You understand?
Oh, okay.
So they'll have Julia, they could probably have Julia and Jessica, but one is Madam Web and one is Spider Woman.
Oh, okay. I'm with you. I was about to say I don't need two Spider Women. But I get what you're saying. I get
They don't have to call them both
technically Madam Web.
Right.
Okay.
Because she kind of had psychic ability anyway, so she'll probably get handed down the Madam Web abilities to Julia, and then she'll become the new Madam Web.
Oh, then you know what? You know what they should do? Cast me Meryl Streep as the OG Madam Web that passes it on to Dakota Johnson's Madam.
She's just a good old actress.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, look, if you want to sell me on this movie, I've said it numerous times, Joel. The best way Sony sells me. Goddamn, Mitchell Robinson is a monster tonight. It didn't amount to nothing there, but goddamn. The best way Sony can sell me is with their castings. Like, I remember I didn't care about Venom's story outside of obviously not having Spider-Man. Its story at that point didn't matter to me. I just loved Tom Hardy. You doing Morbius. I love Jared Leto. I want to see more of Jared Leto. You sold me. Aaron Taylor Johnson. You sold me. That's what's selling me is these castings. So I love Dakota Johnson. In what was it, the something at the El Royale?
Yeah.
That movie. I loved her in that. I thought she was great in that. So I'm like, this is cool. I like to see her in something superhero-y. I like to see everybody in something like this. But the premise of it, I fucking despise. I'll feel the same way about Black Cat, same way about Silver Sable. What will sell me on all these projects will be the castings. So albeit I will always shit talk this movie being made, I'm way more accepting because of the casting.
Yeah, it's the Sony Spider Universe, whatever they're calling it. Right. It's always gonna be weird. I was talking about it with someone else the other day, and I'm like, it's just something we got to get used to. They're just gonna milk this cow dry, you know.
Which, like I said, as long as you keep casting good, I don't give a fuck. I'm probably gonna hate nine out of the 10 things you want to do, but I can accept it because I can accept the casting, and that's really all I need. If I'm being honest with you.
Right.
I mean, look how accepting we were of a new Batman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, albeit me and you would have probably accepted anybody because we're Batman fans, not actor fans. Right. But the casting is what made me go, okay, all right, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm intrigued. So yeah, so I can't wait to see how all of this kind of starts to pan itself out. Does Sony have, and I don't mean for its video games, but does it have a convention that they do where we can maybe hear more about this, or is this probably like a Comic-Con thing?
Sony, no, they do not. They'll probably use Comic-Con. Trying to think where else they would be able to.
Yeah, it has to be that or the Brazil thing at the end of the year. That's where they always do.
They could always use CinemaCon too, but
yeah,
they don't have their own thing, so they'll just attach themselves to whatever is coming up, and they feel like they can build there.
Okay. I mean, look, shit. If they want to drop it at a video in a video game setting, like you give us more news about the new Spider-Man game and then drop more news about this Madam Web project, whatever. We've seen stranger shit. Shit. All right, I don't think there's any other huge news that came out outside of that. That was like the biggest news so far. And obviously me and Joel are going to try our best to see the Batman March 1st. I promise you guys we're going to try our best. Damn, Joel, that's going to feel so good seeing that movie early.
Yeah.
So it just limits the amount of spoiling someone can do.
Yeah. It's true.
But we will be getting, good news is we will be getting first reactions within the next few weeks.
I like it.
Because the press will be able to see it within what? They'll probably start their press tour in the next 2 weeks. Because it comes out the first week of March. So maybe next week. Yeah, maybe next week they start to really vamp up. But all right, last question I got for you, Joel. Who are you picking to win the Super Bowl?
Oh, I don't care. What is it? It's Bengals versus Rams.
Odell's on the Rams.
Odell and the Rams, that's right. I don't really. I mean, whoever wins, I don't have a horse in this race. So either one is fine with me. I did want both of these teams to make it there. So whoever's the better team that night, go for it. I guess because it's LA, I'm a little less wanting to win another fucking title. Fuck that city. So, um, so I'm very much, I
Your
guess,
LA
more
is just sitting
Cincinnati.
there like, damn, Joel, we're not all the Lakers. Like,
Yeah, but I swear there wasn't. I think the Dodgers won not long ago.
yeah, they did. They
I'm like,
did.
yeah,
Yeah, my
fuck
boy Mookie.
off,
Yeah, my
man.
boy Mookie. Yeah, they won not too long ago. A few years ago, 3 years ago.
I'm saying it wasn't that long ago. And then Lakers didn't win that long ago.
It's true. That's too.
Trying to think of hockey. The Kings won not that long ago.
That is also
So
true. Yeah, I mean, you're making sense. You're making.
Galaxy win all the fucking time, it seems, in MLS. Maybe not recently, but still, I mean, they've been good. So yeah, LA doesn't need to win them like another title. Fuck.
Well, as you guys well know, I'm going for Joe Ice, Iceberg Slim, Berg Beasy, Ice Breezy, Joe Burrow, Too Thorough. I want the Bengals to win. I love Joe Burrow.
I
I
would
love
have guessed.
everything about that.
I'm actually pretty shocked.
Why?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, I'm like, why? I've only made this very known. But I'm with you in the idea of I did not want to see Kansas City and Tampa Bay. I didn't want to see Buffalo in Tampa Bay. I didn't want to see anyone. I'm sorry, I didn't want to see Titans in Tampa Bay. I didn't want to see anyone else win in the AFC that was not the Bengals or the Patriots. So
Yeah, I just didn't want to see another familiar face, you know. So I was cool with the Rams were a familiar face, but like I didn't have a choice. Like
you're like Brady or the Rams. Fuck. like, damn it. I will say Aaron Rodgers was my preseason pick for both MVP and Super Bowl. So I was very disappointed that he shit at the bed. And then it was just like, all right, Jimmy G, come on. And then he shit at the bed. I'm like, all right, goddamn. Joe Burrow.
was cheering for him because he gets a lot of shit. And I usually cheer for the underdog anyway. So
he does get a lot of shit, but what doesn't help is when an interception is what ends the game.
happens to the best of us.
It sure does. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. All right. Last thing I want to say, Joel, because it was just really funny. Sunday night, guess who was trapped in Rahway, New Jersey?
Who was what?
Trapped.
Trapped?
Yeah, they couldn't get a
Rahway.
flight or nothing.
Who?
Karrion Kross in Scarlet.
They were trapped in Rahway?
Yeah, they did some wrestling event in
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
They did some wrestling event and they said that their agent or whatever was like ghosting them and they couldn't find a flight or not, because you remember it was Saturday night, sorry. Because Saturday night was a storm where it was like ice.
Friday night was a storm.
I thought it was Saturday.
It was Friday. No, Saturday was fine. I mean, I don't remember it raining on Saturday.
Because they were saying they couldn't catch it. They couldn't find a flight.
I know Saturday was. I mean, Friday was bad, and Friday night was good too. Because Friday night I went out. Saturday and Sunday you can't answer because I was indoors most of the day, but pretty sure we were good Saturday.
Oh, okay. Well, they were trapped here, so I thought that was hilarious because I'm like, nothing ever happens near us. Like, nothing ever really that.
There's wrestling events all over near us, like cons and shit.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of like wrestle cons. They're nearby.
Well, the next time those two are going to be somewhere, I definitely want to
go.
Okay. Could you picture it like we drove by them and we were just like, hey, you need a ride? Yeah, sweet. Yeah. All right, is there any way she can just come? Like, I'll call you an Uber. She's coming in the car, but you.
Do you need somewhere to sleep tonight? No hotel needed.
No hotel needed. And the best part, it's super cold outside. They say body warmth is the best warmth to have.
Yeah.
I got you, Scarlett. Don't you worry.
I got you. I don't know about that guy, but
yeah, I don't know about you.
He seems like he'll be okay.
You should be fine. You should be fine. You have fire during your intros and everything. You'll be good. Don't worry about it. You got any interest in seeing Goldberg Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber?
No, but I'll watch it.
No, I know you'll watch the pay-per-view as a whole. I just meant like, was that something that you're like, oh, because that was supposed to happen a few years ago before
Right.
yeah,
It
before
was supposed to be Spear versus Spear, and we never got it right.
We got a different version of Spear versus Spear. We got Edge versus Roman Reigns.
All the Spears have come to WWE.
Right. So look, I at this point I kind of feel like they're just doing a legacy run with Roman Reigns. Like that title, they're treating Roman Reigns like LeBron, and he's in a really shitty Eastern Conference all this years. So it's like, hey man, finals every year. Roman Reigns, he'll be here. Because now I just kind of feel like it'll just be a tug of war between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Like they'll never give somebody else on SmackDown a chance. I mean, fuck, they made Big E a tag team performer again. He's no longer singles anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was with Kofi on SmackDown, which is weird because he's a Raw superstar. But he was tag teaming with Kofi on Friday Night SmackDown this past week.
Interesting.
And then the report came out that his single run is over. And then Big E went to Twitter and was like thanking his fans and everything. So I'm like, that sounds like that's true. Like when Xavier comes back, it'll be the New Day again. And then we'll get the New Day versus Uso.
We will never stop being the New Day.
You have to imagine, Joel, that if you're Xavier Woods, you're like, all right, cool, my turn. And Vince is like, about that, no.
like everyone else got a shot, you piece of shit. Let me get mine.
Vince is like, no, we just had to meet a quota. We see what the NFL is going through with black coaches. We just had to meet our numbers. That's it.
You were king last year.
So. Right. We gave you king. That's all we can do. Sorry. You've passed the threshold. That's all we can do for you. But all right. That's all me and Joel got for you guys on this episode of Much Ado About Nothing. Hopefully when we come back to you guys, the Knicks have had a winning record. That'd be lovely.
That'd be really crazy. Talk about a hell of a week.
That would be. We get the finale of Book of Boba, episode 7 of Peacemaker, and then a Knicks winning streak. And they actually play Cam Reddish. Oh my goodness.
Well,
I'll become that Vince meme. You know that Vince meme where he falls back? Yeah, that'll be me if we get that. If we get a week like that. But all right, so look, we could be looking at a completely different Knicks team or a slightly different Knicks team by this time next week, with the trade deadline being this Thursday.
Yeah, we'll see what we look like.
Yeah, we'll let you guys know. I pray we get CJ, because that sounds like the biggest name we can get. That's obtainable.
I just want some room for these young guys to play.
Right, and if Burks and Fournier are gone, and Kimba, that gives you all the room possible. Because like you said, CJ can just play point guard.
I think he can. Yes, I can.
All right, I believe in you. If you think he can play it, he can play it. I'm going to see what that looks like on 2K. All right. All right, guys.
Play that much. You don't have to worry about that.
That's for damn sure. But all right, guys, we'll see you next time. Until then, peace.
Peace.